All right, so hello. This is a Master of Time, the Ocarina of Time ROM hack, any percent tutorial. My goal is to, and hopefully under an hour, just teach you literally everything you need to know from like operating system, emulator, and everything to beating the entire game and all the little quirks of it. You'll notice it's a pretty short run. My time, which is the current record, is just under 16 minutes, but my sum of best is under 15, so in theory that's possible. But pretty improbable. But you'll see there are some pretty large time saves throughout the run that have yet to be applied. So the first thing is how you actually get Master of Time running. You can find stuff for this online, but one thing that I couldn't find is that the Master of Time emulated, at least on PC with most emulators. So I tried it with Project 64 and with Mupin. When you pause, you get like a weird fuzzy pause screen, if you know what I mean. It has like funky colors and you can't really tell what's going on. Or you have a totally blacked out pause screen, and thus you can have literally no clue what's going on. So what you do to fix this is you just try different graphics drivers. In Project 64 and Mupin 64, you can download extra graphics drivers from online, try a bunch of them, find one that works for you. For me, I think I'm using Glide N64 with Project 64 1.7, and that is the combination I have found that works. If I save state, I still get that weird visual glitch, but in a run you don't save state, so no issues there. As far as platform that you play on, as far as I can tell, it doesn't really matter. There is one thing, and that is on the Wii, when you do a save warp, you reboot from that, you do a couple save warps in this run. On the Wii, when you do that, you get that like controller screen, which is an extra 2 or 3 seconds every time you do it. So I think we do it 3 times, so you probably lose around 9 seconds or so, maybe less, by playing on the Wii. But that's probably not important. So anyways, go ahead and name your file, start your timer. The first thing is there's an opening cutscene. It's about 30 seconds. And during this, you just want to mash A and B. So Master of Time has fast text, meaning that in almost all text in the game, except for like after getting an item or some owl text, you can press B to complete the entire text box that's up right now, and then A to move on to the next text box. So by mashing B and A, you'll see I'm completing what's on the screen and then moving it on to the next one. So in Master of Time, you start with a sword, you start with a full magic bar, and you start with 3 hearts. You'll know you're actionable once you're standing on the bed, and you can just go ahead and walk to the door. Some people will roll. I have found that when I roll, I always bonk. And you want to go right, and there's a staircase here, and you can kind of just jump and come off the staircase. The theoretical faster way to do it, and the way that I usually do in runs, is by jumping here and then just holding down, and you kind of run off of the railing. But if you want to be absolutely optimal, I want to give you, if you want to beat me, this tutorial will give you all of the various time saves that are still left in the run with the current route. So if you want to do these little optimizations, if you hold down and roll and you have the right position, you'll go even further. And then you just want to go to this door in the front of the house and leave the house. And this is like the last decent sized cutscene. There's barely any cutscenes in this run. It's mostly gameplay. You have like the opening 30 seconds, and then you have like 20 seconds here, and then there's like a 20-second thing later, but other than that, it's pretty much pure gameplay. Alright, so what we need first is our shield, and then we also theoretically need Deku Nuts. I'll talk about that when we get them, and you can just hold the upright notch and roll this way, and get to the door, and you come here. Some people do side hops up these stairs. I prefer the rolling method, and I prefer not to fall while trying to roll at too tight of an angle. But yeah, if you do either one here, I've timed them, they're comparable. Both of these chests have Deku Nuts in them. You only need 1 chest. In theory, you only need 2 nuts, but there are some strats later that you can do that use nuts to save them. In real theory, you only need no nuts. You can technically do it without them, but the 2 seconds it takes to get the nuts makes it it worth it to do it, because it makes some other stuff easier later. So then you hop onto this bench, come up here, you can do a little jump to here, and then this chest has the shield in it. And now what you're going to want to do is when you pause to do equips, You know, which is for this, we'll be putting on the Deku Nut, the shield, sword, and the shield. You can potentially be wasting time if you're in a state where you could be doing something. So like if you're running and you pause, you might like lose a frame of running, or you might have to like think an extra second to make sure that you pause buffer. So in my opinion, the best time to do equips is when you literally have no effect on your movement at all. So if you'll notice, if I side hop and hold, if I target, side hop and hold left, I end up there. If I target, side hop, and hold right, it's slightly different, but I end up in essentially the same spot. And forward, it's the same spot. I'm just moving after I land. Backward, same spot. You don't affect where you land, essentially, by holding a direction while side hopping. So I can side hop, pause midair, and now there's absolutely no chance that I waste any time here. You'll start on this screen. Just go ahead and equip Deku Nuts wherever you want. I like C left. Equip sword. Equip shield, unpause, hold target, and then from this position, the reason that you side hop here, you can backflip and side hop right, and you're good to just turn and open the door and leave. So then what we want to do is we need to get the bracelet, which basically allows us to get all of the other stuff in the first dungeon in the run. So what I'll do is I would backwalk here to the bracelet, but you can I'll just roll to show you what you're doing. And I'm just going to like climb and do a little parkour, so just watch that. In the meantime, I'll explain any percent run. You know, when it comes to any percent runs, you can't usually in most games beat the game by just, you know, walking to the ending. There's some challenges that you have to overcome. And the two challenges in Master of Time are there is a pretty big gap that we need to get across, and then we need to light 12 torches at the same time to open the ending gate, which allows us to finish the game. And so those are the two hurdles we have to overcome. To light those 12 torches, we need fire arrows and a bow. And to cross the gap, we actually only need a shield, because of some new pretty fast strategies. So you enter this little well thing. This is just a connection to the bottom of the well in this map. Come down here. I like to do side hops here. Anytime you're going downhill, I think side hops are preferable. But yeah. So you're going to come in here, and this is where pretty much the Deku Nuts are useful for. You're going to want to wait for the bubble to come around the corner. Deku Nut. I pause buffered it just to show you. Wait for him to be here. Deku Nut. So it's kind of tight with that timing. It seems easier than it is. It's not actually that easy, because if they hit you, you really don't want to get hit. So there's a trick later in the run that'll save 10 to 15 seconds, but it requires you to have 1.5 hearts at that point in the run. And up until that point in the run, we take damage on purpose 3 times. So we take 3 half a hearts of damage, meaning you need to lose no health in any other way in order to be able to do that trick, or get lucky and find health in a bush or something. But assuming you just do everything right, then you won't need to. So anyways, this door is now open, but the door at the bottom of the temple won't be open. There's a whole nother dungeon a whole nother section of the dungeon to do. But for some reason, the dungeon's poorly programmed. So if you leave it and you come back, the door at the bottom of the dungeon, which allows us to get the bracelet that we want, is now open. So we can just go down there. Movement, I feel like I can kind of let you figure out on your own. A lot of side hops is what I do. So you come into this room. This is the fun room. Slash this on the wall. The other 3 will do nothing of use. There's those little things on the corners to slash. I like to line myself up here, look at him. So you want to do it quicker than this, obviously. The moment that his feet land on the ground, he is vincible. You can hit him, and you just want to jump slash. Aim for his backside. That's how you get the 1-hit kill. That'll murder him. Try not to pick up the magic. I call this getting magicked, because it's just a dumb cutscene, and theoretically you don't have to have it happen once in the entire thing. And then you come and get this chest, and you have the bracelet. And so this is the first thing in the run. This allows you to pick up bomb flowers, because we actually get no explosives, no inventory explosives in this run. So the way that we get through a lot of these dungeons is by picking up bomb flowers and using those. So the bracelet allows us to do that. So then you can just go ahead and leave the dungeon. The TAS actually save warps out of the dungeon, but the TAS had to do some other stuff after. So I think it's actually not faster to save warp. I've never actually timed it, so maybe if you want to time it, you can. That might be an extra second of time save that I'm missing. So anyways, I used to go to the right. Basically, we need to get over there by the owl. Over there. And I used to go to the right, but Stony showed me, or did in his run, what seemed better. And that is you can go to the left, come off of down here, and then you can do this little jump and come over here. And you pretty much, it's pretty self-explanatory, but you come right here. Oh, wow, don't talk to the little girl. And the owl's here. He has his super fast text. Hit yes. And then you can just climb up this ledge and leave. And that's about 2 or 3 seconds faster than the way that I used to go to the right. So that's pretty much the ideal path. So the next thing that we need to do is get into the Temple of Agility. This is where we get bows, the bow, and the fire arrows. So now we can pull bomb flowers because we have the bracelet. And you can just run in this corner. And this is the first place we purposely take damage just because it's faster to have that bomb flower in your hand and run there. Climb up here, parkour, just a little bit of parkour. It's pretty easy. If you make like a cycle, you're pretty fast. You can roll here immediately and you won't get hit by the Deku Net that dude shoots. So the old route, you would have to go in here, get a song with an ocarina and everything. But it turns out there's actually a way to get into the temple pretty easily. You don't need to open it with the song and everything. So you can come from either side here. You can come from the right side. I personally prefer to come from the left side, but this works either way. It's not that highly specific. And this is called the Agility Temple Clip. So basically you want to get up on the ledge, and then you need to get away from the wall so that when you roll off of the ledge, you'll jump rather than just walking off the ledge. So there's multiple ways to do this. What I used to do is I would get up on the ledge and side hop and shield turn right. But Stony does he just turns right and then slashes, and then he's in the right position. And that seems faster. So from that position, you can ESS or just turn. It's really not specific. As long as you're far enough from the ledge that you won't walk off, you'll roll off. And you're aimed towards the gate, that's fine. Basically what we're trying to do is jump slash over the collision of the gate and then hold forward and hold target so that we hit a specific angle so that it pushes us through the gate. That's our goal. So when you want to jump slash at the peak of your jump. So I got through there. I'll go through it again. So I roll off. Can pause, buffer it. I'm late at this point. It's hard to see. I should probably go from the other side so that it's actually visible, or just do it my method. Yeah, so we'll do it like this. So then I ESS, just turn in any direction so that I'm facing the gate. All right, jump off, and then at the peak of your jump, which is somewhere around here, jump slash. All right, and then immediately after, you want to target and hold forward. And I didn't get my target input. I don't actually know exactly what the target input does. I think it makes it so that the angle you're holding forward at is always correct. I actually don't know what exact purpose it serves, but I do know that you need to do it. If you don't get the target, you don't get the clip. And this will work just the same from the other side. The angle is not specific. What's specific is the timing of the jump slash. That's the only specific part. As long as you're targeting and holding forward by the end, you're good. And as long as you jump slash at the top of your jump, the peak of your jump, you're good. So see how weird that angle was? I was just like totally perpendicular essentially to the gate, and it still worked. And be careful because you can walk back through. It has no collision on the backside. So don't do that. Enter the temple and you're good. All right. So the next thing we need is the bow. Getting to the bow, there are 2 keys that we need to get in order to do so, because the bow room is behind 2 locked doors. So we go up here, preferably don't get hit. So this is one of the mistake damages. So if I got hit there, that means that I now have half a heart less than I want to have at this moment. Which means that I have to get hearts at some point if I want to do that 10 to 15 second time save. So there's a couple different times that might work. There's a little bush here that you can quickly get. Waste like about a second to try for it. You want to come into this room, and this is the second damage that you have to take. You climb up the side here, Make sure the Skulltulas aren't looking at you and aren't going to run at you. And basically, you need a damage boost onto the little ledge to my right, and this skips the entire room. So what you can do is, if you recognize that you're at the right height, which would be one lower than this, I believe, you can just walk into him like that. But if you're not confident in recognizing where Link is, if you just move over one and then move down into the spider, you'll always hit him at the highest point and grab the key here. Make sure to press B like I just forgot to do, and you could see how slow the text was. Leave this room. That was our only purpose for it. Now we can go into this room. And now the room we want to get into is to the left, but it's locked, so we need another key. So this is the fun room. I took another extra damage, by the way. So, okay, well, that has a heart, so I'm good. I have one more half a heart of required damage to take, and I'll be at a heart and a half, which is what you need to do the trick. That saves 10 to 15 seconds. That I don't think I actually did in my world record run. So there's 10 to 15 seconds you could easily save on me. This is the fun room, and it's called that because what you're supposed to do is all of this tightrope walking with Skulltulas, and it's a pain in the ass. But what you do instead is an even more pain in the ass Jumpslash to skip a large section of it. So you have to come over here and you jump off and you Jumpslash. And I was too late because I was under the thing. And I was too late because I was under the thing. You just run off and Jumpslash. There's no real getting a feeling for it. It's unfortunate that it's a lot of runs die to this. And then if you're really confident or good at the game, you can do it again to skip this Skulltula. You can just do it over here. I'm bad at this one. I don't do this one. So there's probably another 5 seconds. You could just straight up save on me and for my world record run, because I don't do that. What I do is the much easier method of just waiting for the skull to turn around, murdering his ass, and then you can just walk up normally. If you're confident, you can just try and like go normally. And this one, at the very least, you're going to want to see up and get your angle, because you need to Deku Nut this guy and then roll straight through his legs, because that's the easiest way, rather than waiting for him to turn around. And if you don't have a perfectly straight angle, his legs are going to push you off. And I personally use C up there to do that tightrope too. I'm just bad at those precise inputs. And you've now opened the door to this little room down here straight ahead of you. And this chest has a key, which is how we now get into the room that gets us into the fairy bow room. Leave back where we came through, which is to the right here. If you still didn't get a heart, there's that one more piece of grass there. That's your last chance to get a heart. If you haven't gotten a heart at that point and you're under a minute and under a heart and a half, then you are fucked and can't do the 10 to 15 second time save, which is what I did. In my run, I didn't get a heart, and I didn't find and I didn't do the damaging right. I took extra damage. So this part is kind of hard. You basically have to get this bomb flower onto this top little ledge here, and then get it onto there. And the bombs explode pretty quickly. And also, there's a very fun thing in Ocarina of Time where bombs have collision. So if a bomb is like right at the ledge, so like if I had placed the bomb down right here, I would not have been able to climb the ledge. So yeah, obviously I spent too long pause buffering or everything. But basically you do that, but take the bomb there. You don't have to worry about getting hit by this guy. I have literally never once gotten hit by that guy, so I don't know, you'd have to do something special, I guess. I don't even know how you would, because there's nothing on his level. So you just learn that timing. You can hold slightly forward here. When this explodes, hopefully it breaks that. And you're good. And then there's multiple ways to get up to the top, so now you just have to climb up to the bow. The old way and the easy way is you just come over to the left here. And then you can just climb up this thing. Come up here. And now you're up to this top little section. The new way is you can come to the right, and for some reason, if you walk into this pillar, it has weird collision and will push you up, and you can Jumpslash if you do it right. You can just walk up here, Jumpslash, and it should place you. And the good thing is, if you fail it, it puts you right back in the right spot. I haven't fallen or anything. And that'll put you immediately up there, and that's way faster. And you can turn this way. You can Jumpslash to skip this that jump. Come over here. So I'm just doing parkour now, so now's probably a good time to talk about the endings. This is a tutorial for bad ending, which is the fastest way to beat the game, and in my opinion, the fastest way there will ever be to beat the game. But Master of Time has multiple endings. It has 3. There's a bad ending, there's a good ending, and there's what's called a UFO ending. And the bad ending is the fastest. The good ending is still pretty cool. It's its own run as of right now on the leaderboard, but not this fast, and so this is not a good ending tutorial. And the UFO ending is kind of just a meme category. So you come up here, get your bow. Don't forget to split. So I have 1 heart, so I actually can't do the time save, the little trick. But I will explain to you what it is, because it's fairly easy. Basically, you just roll off the front here and immediately jump slash, and you'll recoil off. And if you hold back, see that door behind me, that little pathway behind me, that leads back into the main room, which is where we're going. So if you have enough hearts to take that fall damage, then you can just do that, and it's like 10 seconds faster, probably more. If not, you just save warp. This makes the rest of the run a lot safer until the next save warp anyways, because you go back to full health when you save warp. So, full health again. Also, don't be a dumbass like me and forget to equip bow before doing that. It's helpful just to have bow. So you'll spawn back here if you do the save warp. If you had done the, if you had just done the jump slash, you would have come out that door right there that we entered earlier. So you would be not only faster getting to this room, but you would be even closer to the target. And what you need to do is blow up the bomb flower on the wall. The hitbox for it is not it. If you shoot the bomb directly, it will not explode. You have to shoot slightly above it, or slightly to the left, or slightly to the right. Don't ask me why. Shitty programming or something like that. You blow that up, come into this room, and this room is fun. So the way that I go about things is you need to kill this Skulltula, and then you'll wait for this guy to pop up to kill him. And so you notice, in theory, I just lost like 2 seconds waiting for him to pop up. And yes, there's a faster way to do it. You can Deku Nut this skull, move across, deal with that guy, shoot the guy over here. That's the theoretical fastest way to do it, and you'll notice my weird pause screen. But I think the 2 seconds is worth it because it's so much easier to just get rid of them. Everyone's gone except this guy. You don't have to worry about it. Do a little parkour here. Target this guy's shield. Do a little parkour. You can also jump slash him if he's up. That works too. Grab this bomb. You can either run into the thing with it or throw it. If you throw it, you risk missing. But the advantage is you can blow it up early by shooting it. So, up to you how much risk you want to take. I think I threw it in my record, but wasn't able to shoot it, so it blew up in the same amount of time anyway. So, worst of both worlds. And you get into this room, and this is another fun part of the run. You need to kill all of these bubbles. So, there's 3 of them. To kill them, you need to shoot each one twice. So, you need to land 6 shots total. 2 of them have a pattern, and every once in a while they'll stop in the middle like this, making them easy to hit, even though I just missed it. What's up, Flex? So the back one, and then the second, and then the middle one will stop. So these ones are easy to hit. You can hit them faster than waiting for that. The one in the front never stops. This guy just runs back and forth. He's kind of an ass. Timing the shot is a little hard. Hit him once. You can get a second hit in a row when he tries to get back to his spot. But I rarely get that. And I'm terrible at this game. And so that's it. So you'll hear the little da-da-da-da noise. If you didn't count your shot, that's how you'll know. I like to break these bushes because you can get a lot of arrows from these. I got really unlucky and didn't get any. But you can get a lot of arrows from these. Yeah. And you need arrows to beat the game. You need at least 12. Preferably you want 14 arrows at the end of the game. So you are about to use 2 more. So if you have 16, or sorry, you're about to use like 5. So ideally you would have like 20 right now, and then you would be set. So I'm technically an arrow or 2 short. That's not hard to correct though. But anyways, you can push this box back. For some reason the box collision doesn't interact with the torch's collision, and you can just push it into it and then get on top of it. Hi, Soph. You can just get on top of it, use the fire to light the arrow, light this torch in the middle of the room, come up here from about to the like where it makes sense on the door, you can get that one, and then from the middle of the door, this one doesn't even make a lot of sense. You can get this torch. You don't go to the other side of the staircase. You have to be somewhat quick with that because torches do go out after like 15 seconds or so. That's what makes the ending of the game very hard because you have to light 12 in a row without them going out. And this is the Stalfos fight. I'm sure if you've played Ocarina of Time, you've fought a Stalfos before. You can do ISG. I think ISG is dumb and doesn't work in a singular Stalfos fight, at least in this situation. So I will do a power crouch stab. If you don't know what a power crouch stab is, you should probably look it up, but I'll explain it since I'm just fighting him anyways. In Ocarina of Time, a crouch stab with a shield does the damage of the last attack you did before the crouch stab. So I walked into the room and did a jump slash, which is the most powerful attack. So when I crouch stab, it has the power of a jump slash, which means that I can kill him in 6 total hits pretty easily. And then come here. There's a chest, and this chest has fire arrows. And now you have everything you need to beat the game. So you'll see why if you had 1.5 hearts, done everything perfectly, and done that 10 to 15 second jump slash time save, you would have had half a heart going through those 3 rooms. So that makes it a lot harder. So although it seems like a lot, like a 10 to 15 second time save, the reason it's not in the world record run is it's just hard to get through those rooms and through this fight completely perfectly without taking damage. And at this point, you're going to want to pause, use your equips well, put on fire arrows, save warp. And there's not another way to do this. You just save warp. Like I said, if you're on Wii, you'll lose like 3 seconds with this save warp, but it's not a big deal. Spawns you at the front of the temple. You can just leave. So there's ideally right now I have 2 more fire arrows that I have to use to leave the area, and then I want 14 is what I consider the perfect amount for shooting the torches at the end of the game. So you would want 16 right now. Ideally, I have 15. So I'll show you where to get more arrows on the way. You can jump down to the little section down here. So from here, you're basically just trying to get back where you came from. You can come here and roll off. Honestly, it might even be faster. But the way that I do it is I jump to this section here and then jump off. I don't know which one's faster. I'm sure it's nominal. You can come over here. And so if you need more fire arrows, this is the direction you're going anyways. You can do a quick spin here. And holy shit, be the most unlucky person in the world and get 0 of them. There's still more chances to get fire arrows later, so don't worry about it. If you're fucked on fire arrows at the moment, you'll be fine. Light these 2 torches and you can leave. You can leave without it. If you really wanted to, you can actually use that box up there to clip through the door, or you can do a ledge clip over here and then walk through. I'm not going to show them because they're slower. Just have the 2 fire arrows do this. This is the last cutscene, pretty much. Just this little area as you come into this area. This is supposed to be like the start of the game, but little does the game know you're actually going to the end of the game. And we're coming up upon the... I don't want to call it the most fun trick because it's an absurdly hard, precise, and continuously different trick at the very end of the run. So it's not that fun, but it's actually kind of fun. You go through this area, and now you're in the first obstacle of the 2 that we have to beat the game. And this is the one I said you only need a shield to beat, and that this obstacle is you need to cross this gap. So there's been multiple ways to do it in the past. The old record used to get bomb chews and mega flip across. Then a newer record used to use this Guay that's flying around to hover across the gap. So basically get ISG, backflip, hover. You probably need like 4 or 5 to get across. But the fastest way, so I'm not going to show you that because I'm only going to show you the fastest way, is a Guay Megaflip, which is just as precise and terrible as it sounds. I saw Navi, so I think the Guay is coming. So basically you want to stand on this ledge until the Guay comes. I'm late on this. So you're going to see the Guay. You basically just want to stand on the ledge and hold target until you see the Guay come. Notice how I can see his beak in the top right, so I know he's coming. So turn around. I like to pause just to make sure I have the angle. Hold straight right, and you do like a little loop-de-loop around this torch. Basically, the idea is you want the Guay in front of you so that the damage that you're shielding to do the mega flip is in front of you. And as you cross the torch, so this is the really hard part of the trick, in my opinion, is getting the right roll timing. All right, so I'm just pausing to show you. You press shield and roll at the same time, and you'll get a side roll as long as you are back walking. But if you wait too long to do this roll, you're gonna hit the ledge, and you're just gonna fall to the ledge, and the trick's not gonna work. And if you do it too early, you're gonna be too far from the ledge, and your mega flip's not gonna go far enough. So you basically need this sweet spot. I try to, like, the moment the torch comes into my view as I back walk past it, that's when I hit A and shield to do the side roll. And so then make sure you hold shield, do this roll. If you did everything right, the positioning right, the Guay should hit you on the frame where Link starts to get up. So I don't know if I missed the frame or what, but let's get back to where we were. Turn around, pause, do a loop-de-loop around the thing. When I get here, so that's something that can happen. If you don't let go of the back stick quickly enough, you can get a back flip there. Ideally, you just let go of the back stick quickly enough. If you walk off the ledge there, trick's dead. If you don't turn around fast enough, I kind of got a shitty save state. I would have turned around already. Trick's dead. Come around here. This is probably a good position. You can see that I've rolled past the torch. The Guay is decently far from me. He probably will hit me on the right frame. I can pretty much assume this will work. And what I want to look for is the frame that Link gets up. And that's this frame. So basically you want to pause buffer to this frame. You'll just have to do it a bunch to learn what frame is what. But this is the frame. It's pretty obvious. It's not subtle at all. He has his arm up and is clearly like in a motion where it seems like he would be down to backflip. And so that's when you backflip. But you don't actually hold back. Depending on whether you got a left side roll or a right side roll, you have to do the backflip in the direction that Link is, the opposite of the direction that Link is facing, because he's not facing forwards, so holding backwards will not do a backflip. I'll show you. If I input like backwards, I get a mega side hop, and mega side hop won't get you across the gap because a mega side hop has no height. So instead, you need to hold down right in that position, get a mega flip, and congratulations, you've crossed the gap. That's just a trick you spend a lot of time with and learn. There's some tricks to it, and I've pretty much told you everything there is to know about it, but other than that, you just get a feel for when you need to do the roll. That's the really hard part, is when to do the roll. So if you still don't have enough arrows like me, there's bushes here. And holy shit, I'm the most unlucky human being on the planet. 2 full sets of bushes, no arrows. And you might be thinking, holy shit, you're so unlucky. But guess what? There's still more bushes. You're going to cross this thing. You can actually just spam A. The rolls make you go slightly faster. And there's no chance of dropping from the ledge. There's no frame where, like, if you're pressing A, you'll drop from the ledge there. So you don't have to worry about that. But these are the last set of bushes, and look, I got arrows. So it is incredibly unlikely that through those 3 sets of bushes, you don't get a single arrow drop. But if somehow you do, if you somehow go through all 3 of those without getting an arrow drop, what I would recommend is not going into here. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. Do not go into Rudo's temple. Because she'll have some dumb shit to say to you. What you should do is go into the next area and then come back. I, for some reason, forgot that there's a cutscene here and was thinking that it would be best just to enter and leave the temple. That's definitely not faster because of the cutscene. So don't do that. Just go into the next area and leave. Go into this little area and then come back. Come to the bushes again. They'll be respawned. Tektite will be here again. Go for it again. And by now you've had 4 bushes worth of drops. And if by now you have not gotten an arrow drop and have the arrows you need, something is wrong. I forgot to split. My Guay split is after I do the mega flip. That's where I split. I just do that as a reference for how fast the mega flip was. And you come over here. And ideally right now you want 14 fire arrows. So you can backwalk here. If you side hop, you'll actually be in the perfect position to backwalk to exactly where I like to shoot the arrows from. But where you shoot the arrows from is really not important. It's also not important the order. There's just 12 torches. There are 4 on that level, 4 on that level, 4 on that level, 3 levels of 4 each. And you need to light them all at the same time, and they go out pretty quickly. So if your aiming is good and like the moment you're able to shoot, you're lined up to shoot, you can miss 2 shots. So you can miss the torches twice without totally fucking yourself over. If you miss more than twice, more likely than not, the run is dead. Because you'd need to, well, I guess you could go back and get more fire arrows. If it's not world record pace, it's probably fine. You could just go get more arrows and more magic. Torches are weird and finicky. If you haven't shot torches from weird angles, you'll not understand that you can actually like hit the torch and not light it. You can even hit pretty close to the top and not light it, but as long as you get near the top area, you'll not light it, or you'll light it. And then you can also hit like this area, you'll light it. So which one you shoot, where you stand, which one you shoot first is all up to preference. Where I like to stand is this top left corner. And the one that I choose to shoot first is this one over here, because you can see it's problematic. Because it's really easy to hit this block here, because it's in the way, rather than hit this. So I can take my time lining up this first shot before doing all of the rest of the shots. So I get the first shot, and now I can go in any order I want. I basically just go with what's closest. As long as you're doing it like fairly quick like I am, no issues so far. I still have 2 shots to miss. Took a little long on that one, but not a big deal. This one can also be problematic because you can hit the one in front of it while trying to hit it, but generally it's fine. It's not the one I choose to do first. That, and then the final one. So I missed 0 shots, so I had plenty of time to spare before those went out. You could potentially miss, I believe, 2 shots as long as you're aiming pretty quickly, and the torches won't start to go out before you finish, and you'll be good. And that's pretty much it, because you come here, and the moment that you're inactionable here, so the moment Link starts to move on his own, that's the end of the run, and you've done bad ending.